Alright, so let's talk about How to Know a Person by David Brooks. This book really dives into the art of understanding others, which you think would come naturally to all of us, but apparently not. It's less about what we already know about social norms and more about developing deep human connections. A central theme here is that most people only engage in the superficial level, focusing more on appearances, background, and status rather than a person's core. But what is a person's core? It's something internal, something deep. For example, some people might view others as either friendly or distant because that's the personality that they decided to adopt in a very short interaction. Brooks pushes back on this notion. He challenges us to recognize people's inner richness, their hopes, and their struggles. So how do you figure these things out? Well, the first step is to realize that the core isn't just accessible from one interaction. One concept Brooke talks about is illumination. You aren't supposed to simply see others. Rather, you illuminate them. You become an amplifier. So the concept is about creating this feeling that when somebody spends time with you, they have had an uplifting experience. When we illuminate others, it helps them feel their worth. You try to make sure that their potential is amplified by listening and acknowledging their own value. After that, the next step is learning to see your past filters and assumptions. People usually tend to have filters such as judging people too quickly, even judging somebody based on past actions that they've done. It's still not the right way to approach someone. Everyone has done something they're not proud of, but everybody has also done something at some point to make someone else happy, even if it's in a very small way. But as long as these biases affect how you perceive people, it's hard to have an authentic experience with anybody. Recognizing is the first step towards actually seeing others clearly for who they are, not for what we already believe about them. Brooks introduces different techniques that one could use when interacting with others, such as listening with curiosity, a listener mentality. That doesn't just mean hearing someone's words. Instead, it means understanding their perspective. Are they using humor? How are they saying that? What makes them say these words in a certain way? It's asking open-ended questions to find out the reasons behind their perspectives rather than interrogating people based on pre-existing beliefs. This type of listening is rare, but Brooke mentions in the book that this is the essence of it. When we understand someone better, we are building intimacy, respect, and love. When someone shows these traits in a single interaction, it feels incredibly uplifting for others. Brooke also discusses vulnerability, in the sense of creating spaces where everyone is comfortable enough to drop their masks. If you think about it, when you talk about the usual interactions that we have with people, things like work, gossip, or entertainment, people will put on that mask. So, as the conversation opens into being more vulnerable, people might feel awkward because it requires more bravery from each participant. It makes a room much more vulnerable. It changes the entire atmosphere. For Brooks, this is an important part of relating on a much more intimate level. Being vulnerable together, being authentic, and allowing space for difficult topics helps us bond and build connections on a deeper level because we can see and feel that we are in a safe place and that somebody cares about your story. This is why it's best to drop the mask early on, because the more we wear it, the more we feel like we must keep wearing it. The book dives deep into the need to build relationships through the soul-revealing interaction. He argues that we are social creatures that crave deep, meaningful contact, and to receive that is incredibly moving. Many relationships stay on the surface level because many people are not looking for anything deeper. Instead, they just seem to pass everyone by. Do you want a real connection with another human? Then you have to make that decision, to seek more than just surface-level interaction with someone. Otherwise, you're always just going to stay there. A key idea in soul revealing is seeing each person as a story worth understanding and caring for. It's about the journey, not the results. The more that each person shares a part of their story, the easier it is for them to receive care. Finally, Brooke touches on the idea that human relationships are the meaning of life, not personal achievement or wealth. Think of all the self-help and motivational business podcasts that seem to revolve around you trying to improve and how that's going to benefit you in the long run. If most of life is about chasing your own individual desires or goals, it might be missing the whole point of human existence, that life is not solely individual, it's connected. Real satisfaction, real treasure, might not come from what you possess, but how deeply connected you are to yourself and how deeply connected you are to other people. When it comes to building relationships, it becomes more than just two people. It becomes that relationship itself, that special energy that is created when two souls get intertwined. Overall, how to know a person serves as a call to really consider who people really are, beyond appearances and surface behaviors. So next time that you're in a social situation, see if there's more that you can dig in, more that you can create, whether it's in your family or just someone in the public. Knowing others will also help you know yourself even better. It emphasizes that the true path to knowing a person is through genuine interaction, by asking real, thought-provoking questions, offering kindness and vulnerability. Remember, it's the human connection and the relationships you make that create a long-lasting joy and satisfaction, even with something small.